Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Women's Philanthropy Board program highlighting the work of Project Uplift. As you may know, the Women's Philanthropy Board is a part of the College of Human Sciences at Auburn University, but you may not know that Project Uplift is also a College of Human Sciences initiative. We're excited to have Project Uplift program coordinator Kelly Wells with us today to talk about their wonderful work. Kelly is an Auburn native and graduated from Auburn University in 2013 with a degree in Human Development and Family Science. She worked with Lee County Youth Development Center in therapeutic foster care for over 4 years before transitioning to Project Uplift. Kelly began as a family support manager and then accepted the role of program coordinator in August 2020. Kelly lives in Auburn with her husband and 3 children, 2 of which they adopted through therapeutic foster care. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll just go ahead and get my little PowerPoint up, but I do want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share about Project Uplift. Since becoming coordinator, of course, through COVID and everything, I'm always thankful for the opportunity to share about the program. So I definitely appreciate that. Okay. I do like to start by sharing a little bit about the Lee County Youth Development Center, because as you just mentioned, I grew up here in Auburn, but it was not until college that I even learned what the Lee County Youth Development Center was. And we are a program of LCYDC as well. So a little bit about the history of the Lee County Youth Development Center. The founders, Cecil Mormon and Jane Walker, established the Lee County Council for Neglected and Dependent Children in 1969. And then 4 years later, LCYDC was endorsed and voted by taxpayers. The first program was called the Attention Home, and it was a foster home that served orphans and children abused and neglected. There were children with significant social, emotional, and behavioral issues. The home was placed on 14 acres donated by a Mr. and Mrs. George King. These 14 acres would soon be home of multiple LCYDC programs serving the youth of all 67 counties in Alabama. So the 2 founders, got little pictures of them. There's Miss Cecil D. Mormon and Miss Jane C. Walker. They both passed away, but I've just from LCYDC, I've gotten to hear a ton of stories about how amazing those women were and really devoted their whole life to taking care of the children and youth in this area. One thing I did want to show y'all is Miss Mormon's little legacy is continuing. Her great-granddaughter Bailey just started with Project Uplift as a mentor to little Amari. I did have to cover up Amari's face on his picture because he is actually in foster care currently, but will hopefully be adopted by his current placement soon. But when I interviewed Bailey, she said the best thing that she had to offer for Project Uplift is love to these children who may not be as fortunate as others. I have always had a passion for kids. I would love nothing more than to have a positive impact on some of these kids. I realize some children may not come from the most loving home, so my goal is to shower them with all the love I have. Everyone deserves to feel loved, valued, and appreciated. I hope to make an impact on someone's life in a very positive way. So we're very excited to have her, and I just think it's really special with her connection with her great-grandmother. Here are the current LCYDC programs, because again, if you do not know where LCYDC is or what it does, these are all the programs. So I'll kind of quickly go over some of those. They do have the therapeutic foster care, which is foster homes in Lee County that serve TFC children. There's a Passages males and females, and that's DHR boys and girls, and those are housed on LCYDC's campus. They have a transitional living program. So that's for the older teens. They're in a group home. They either attend Opelika High School or they can attend the Chanticleer Day School at LCYDC. But that program is just kind of helping those kids those are the ones that are probably aging out of DHR without a permanent home. So they kind of help them learn the basic living skills. And then there's an independent living program. So that's even a little step above the transitional. So those kids are actually in apartments, living by themselves, having a job, and they still provide services to them as needed, but they're pretty much learning how to live on their own. There's also regional detention, clinical services, which handles all of the psychological services and medical needs, Project Uplift. And then educational services, they have a Chanticleer Day School. So that's an accredited school that the students can graduate from if they're out there at LCYDC the time of their graduation. Family-based intervention services, so that serves the families of children 0 to 18. And then there's a Voyages program that serves DYS girls. So a little bit about LCYDC. Okay, but moving on to Project Uplift. We are affiliated with Lee County Youth Development Center. We are Human Development and Family Science Department at AU, and we are a program with United Way of Lee County. A little bit about our affiliation with Auburn. We are an official department organization on the AU campus. Our affiliation with the university began as an in-kind service component of the Department of Family and Child Development in the School of Human Sciences, which so graciously housed the program for 13 years in the Glanton House. Due to expansion of that department, Project Uplift sought new space in 1986. The Department of Psychology extended an invitation to us to join their department and gave Project Uplift a new home. In 2019, right before COVID, we received word that the Department of Psychology was now expanding, but it did not take long for the Human Development and Family Science Department to welcome us back home in 2020. And we are thrilled and honored to be back with the HDFS family and housed in the basement of the Haley Center. Okay, so what is Project Uplift? If you do not know much about it, we are a youth mentoring program whose main goal is to develop constructive, happy lives so delinquency in our county will decrease. And we aim to provide a positive experience for everyone involved. I like to say we are hopefully helping the Lee County children not make it to LCYDC one day. A little bit about the children that we serve. Is ages 5 to 12. The average age of our kiddos is between 7 and 8. 95% are African American, 53% are boys, 44% reside in Auburn, 43% in Opelika, and then 13% Lee County. And when I say Lee County, that means Notasulga, Lochapoka, Beulah, and Beauregard areas. A lot of the time I do get the question, well, how do we find our kids? How do we find our families? Who sends in referrals? And 79% of referrals are from families, whether it's word of mouth or they may be referring their 5th or 6th child and all the others had gone through the program. So the families do a really good job sending in referrals, but we also get referrals from the schools. The counselors do a really good job sending us referrals for students that they have that may be struggling in school or home life, anything like that. DHR sends us a few referrals for foster care, but we don't see as many because, as y'all know, the children move a lot more than we can get to their referral, but we do get them every now and then. We don't see as many referrals from juvenile court just because our age range is so young, but we have had those referred in the past. East Alabama Mental Health does send us a good bit of children, a lot of their clients, just so that they'll receive the extra services. And then, of course, the Lee County Youth Development Center children that fall in our age range, which is typically the therapeutic foster care homes will refer their kids. Okay, a little bit about our volunteers. 78% are female students, 79% have a 3.0 or higher GPA. Average GPA is 3.4, which is awesome. And then we have 61% that are in Greek organizations. For our volunteers, we do ask that they try to commit to the program for 1 year. And for us, 1 year means 2 full semesters. We know a lot of students go home for the summer, and that's totally fine. But we do ask, and this is something they learn in the interview with me, that you try to do a year for purposes that the child does get attached, and we don't want this mentor to meet the child and then just kind of disappear after 1 semester of getting some credit or putting it on their resume. So we do ask that they try to do it for a year, 2 to 3 hours a week. They have to drive a car with liability insurance because we do allow them to drive the kids around. They have to complete an online training session, which is very, very in-depth, and I think pretty much gets them prepared for the experience. For the ones that are under 21, we do ask a parent permission, and that's pretty much just our way of letting that parent know that your child is participating in a program that's going to take up a few hours a week, and we just want those parents to know what the program is. They have to have a TB skin test and agree to background checks. We fingerprint them in our office, the old school ink way. It's really fun. We do pull their driving records. They have to be CPR certified and keep that up to date. They do a minors on campus training. It's called Protecting Children, Identifying and Reporting Sexual Misconduct. They have to do an interview with me. They do have to be willing to partner with somebody else. And we tell them it's safety in numbers, not just for going into some of these neighborhoods, but any kind of accusations that could come about. We always say it's better to have somebody with you. So they have to have a partner, does provide them a support system. And the main reason why we changed that was in 2014 after the Penn State sexual abuse scandal. Pretty much that's when it transitioned to being 1 partner, but to 2 partners. And then of course we love our dating teams and partners, as long as they're stable, because it does provide that child with a loving relationship that they may not see at home. We do random drug screenings, and so that's something that the mentors are told before they start, and they have to do some more trainings. And we do future little reports and surveys, so we keep up with them throughout the whole time that they're mentoring, and that's just our way of knowing how their experience is going. So they're prepared to do multiple surveys and reports with us. The biggest needs in the program, definitely male volunteers. We try our best to recruit for them, and the males that we do have are incredible, but for whatever reason, it is a little harder to get them involved. I think they love it when they start, but it's just a little harder to get them involved. But it's something that is so needed, because the way our wait list works is the little boys who are aged 10 to 12 have to be placed with male volunteers just due to their older age. So our wait list is majority 10 to 12-year-old little boys, because we don't have as much male volunteers come through. We also try to recruit more minority volunteers, and then just, of course, individuals from the Auburn and Opelika community. A lot of people don't know that just because we're housed on Auburn, you don't have to be an Auburn student to mentor. So we also try to tap into Tuskegee University and Southern Union and just other places in the community so that more people can know that you don't have to be an Auburn student, even though we're on Auburn's campus. Okay, a little bit about the matching process. This kind of differs us from other Big Brother, Big Sister programs. We allow our mentors to come in and pick out their child. So after all those requirements that I just mentioned are completed, they receive an email letting them know that they're ready to come in and pick out their kid. So both of the mentors have to receive that email before they come in. And then they come in and they get to read files we give them like a 2-hour time slot, because it can take a little while. So they get to come in, read through all these files, make sure that they have some kind of connection with the family that they read about. We do have currently 154 kids on the wait list. And they do unfortunately age off of the wait list at 12, which is probably the most heartbreaking thing when you're having to age them out and you notice that you had kids who were never chosen or hadn't been chosen in a while. And then after they read the files, and we do ask that they narrow down their families to 2 that they would be interested in working with. And that's simply because we only give the family about 3 days to get back in touch with us. And if we don't hear from that family, then we just move on to the mentor's second pick after reading all those files. And then we do set up a formal introduction for everybody, because it can be a little scary as the mentors to go meet the family. And then some of the kids are a little more shy at first. So all of those pictures are from the formal introductions, and you can just tell how excited they are. My favorite is the little boy who's literally looking up at his mentor with a smile. And that one just so sweet. But I think doing those introductions is one of my favorite things, because you get to see that first initial reaction of meeting each other. But kind of bouncing off of the wait list, we do have what we call roaming volunteers. So at any given time, about 40% of our kids will be waiting for volunteers. So we call them the roamers. Their main duty is to visit the children on a rotating basis so that they don't feel like they're forgotten. It helps us keep up with where the family is. And then new volunteers who are picking them can have a current information about their lives, interests, personality, strengths, and weaknesses. The roaming volunteers also conduct all of those introductions of new volunteers with their kids. Each week, children are added or withdrawn from that roaming volunteers caseload, making the caseload very fluid. Funding for the roamers, because it is a paid part-time job through Auburn, comes from the United Way of Lee County. So we're very appreciative to that fund, because it really does help those families who are waiting to have somebody checking in on their kid, even if it's not weekly. They may say, hey, I'm going to be your roamer. I can come maybe once a month just to see your child until they have permanent volunteers. Okay. And then I asked, we have 3 currently, which I would love to have more, but we have 3 roamers currently. So I kind of asked them what they love about doing their job. And Tate said, as a roamer, it's quite challenging to say goodbye to kids on the wait list, uncertain if they will ever get mentors. But at the same time, it could not be more inspiring to see hope and innocence in some of the darkest circumstances. I see firsthand how the world tries to put this generation down in every way it can. And like it or not, this job stirs a passion in you to fight for these children, especially when no one else is fighting for them. Every roaming experience humbles me and opens my eyes in ways I had never imagined. And then Grace said, I have loved getting to know even more kiddos than my own around the community. Being a roamer has been rewarding because I feel like I am able to make so many new connections and get to do different things, since every kid is so different and has unique interests. So that's a little bit about why they like it. I did want to add that when we go screen and interview the families are given a list of 10 things or common problems that family may be living with. And that's something that the parent will check off at the time of their interview. And that's in the file for the mentors to read. So here, I did want to show y'all, this is what the family is given. So 71% live in a single family home. Some are in the lower income homes, school problems, behavioral and emotional problems, lacking good friendships. The child may have no after school supervised activities, limited church involvement, poor discipline, little home supervision and structure, and lack of visible affection. So that's something that the mentors can read about in the file, which one their family may be dealing with, so that they at least know what they're going into. Okay, a little bit about the activities. They are endless as long as they're legal, moral, and ethical. We do provide lots of things for them to do that are free, because one thing that we instill in the mentors is not to spend money on the children. We understand it can get hard from time to time, but we try to tell them to do a $5 a month budget, because we want our kids to think of this experience as something that they're learning and not just spending money on them every time they go out. But we do tell the mentors to do something physical, help building. A lot of the kids are unfortunately overweight, and it's just because they're not getting out doing anything after school. And then develop good social skills, whether it be their manners, hygiene. I had this for one of our events. I had this little boy open the door for me, and he was just smiling. And I was like, well, thank you. That was so sweet. And he looked up at me with the biggest smile. I was like, thank you. My big sister taught me how to do that. Said it's how to treat a lady. And I was like, well, she was right. She was very right. So of course, academic skill development, the past year, I guess, well, past 2 years, I mean, with COVID, we have really encouraged our mentors to get involved with the kids' schools, start tutoring them, helping them, because a lot of the kids did not handle the virtual experience well. A lot fell behind. So we do really encourage them to not only take them to have fun, but let's start by doing some schoolwork. And a lot of them have done that. And we've heard a lot of success stories about the kids' grades. Some environmental activities helps the kids get out of their comfort zone. Some will plant flowers together and kind of keep it at the mentor's house, just teaches them different stuff. And then of course, cultural experiences. And then I wanted to show, so we do get to have a few events throughout the semester. So I've kind of pinpointed some of them that we've had recently. Unfortunately, we did not get to have very many during COVID. So I think our Fall Fest was our first one that really kicked back off the events. We went to MLK Park and we had the firemen and policemen come, which was so sweet to see the kids have fun with policemen and not fear them like so many of them truly do. So that's some pictures from our little Fall Fest. And then we had a Christmas party, which was so much fun. We had a professional photo booth come, and the kids loved that. So, and we got to have that out at the Opelika Sportsplex. It ended with a dance party that the kids started themselves, which was really fun. None of them wanted to leave, so that was a little hard. Some more from the Christmas party. And then we had a Valentine's party this month, and it was hosted by AU's Christian Pharmacy Fellowship International. So they reached out, hosted it for us, and the kids had a blast. They not only got to have fun, but they also got to learn a lot about medicine and pharmacy stuff, and enjoyed playing games with all of those students as well. Okay. And then for the future of Project Uplift, honestly, I just wake up every day wanting to recruit more mentors to help with that 154 waiting. I want to serve more of the families, gain more community involvement, and then just continue to impact the lives of the children in Lee County. I think that's it, but I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to pull up, I do have a video to end with. So I'll pull that up. Okay, where did my screen go? Oh, there.
Hey, my name's Tanner. I've been doing Project Uplift for 3 years now, and when my partner and I started, we got 2 kids, and we've had the same 2 kids ever since. And that's been such a privilege because we've got to watch them on their good days and their bad days, and no matter what, we get to love on them, and we've not only gotten to know them as individuals, but we've also got to know their families, and that's been so sweet. And we may not be able to see the impact that we have on them right now, but I hope that one day we will. And I can't wait to see what Project Uplift looks like in the future, because right now it's incredible. And so I can only imagine what it'll look like in a few years. Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name's Chris.
And I'm Logan.
And we've been with Project Uplift for almost 2 years now and have had a absolutely amazing experience with our boys.
When we first started off, Justin and Jarrell were with us. They were probably 9 and 10 years old, and now they're almost 12 and 11 years old each. And we've seen them grow in school. We've watch them start off with almost all F's and D's. We've helped work with them to get those up each and every year, and we've helped them learn new things and new skills in life.
We've also seen their behavior get a lot better as well. When we first started seeing the boys, they were getting in fights on the bus and getting in trouble with their teachers in class. But Logan and I have really been striving to teach the boys patience, kindness, and how to control kind of their anger a little bit better. And we've seen that develop in the boys over the past couple of years that we've been seeing them. And have really been making leaps and bounds in their behavior at school, on their visits with us, and at home with their moms. So Logan and I really appreciate what Project Uplift has been able to do for us, and obviously for the boys and their families. So
we look forward to continuing the program until after we graduate and continue the experience we've had with boys for the rest of our lives.
I love when they help me with my work and come pick me up. Fun, and we go different places. And my name is Justin. I love everybody's happy. I love helping for our work, and I love when we have parties.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I have been a mentor of Project Uplift for almost 3 years now and have greatly loved the experience and the opportunities that it provides to invest into kids. Me and my partner have had the same two kids for the whole time, and that has been just a great time to invest in them and get to know them and their families and help them with school and help them in the sports that they're doing and going to go watch them play in those sports and taking them around Auburn just to see and be a part of things in the community and celebrate different holidays and their birthdays with them. One thing that they love to do for their birthdays is go to church. And so, Project Uplift has just been a way to impact them and hopefully give them an opportunity to kind of see us as role models and just people that they can depend on and count on in their life. And someone who loves them and is there for them and cares for them. And just to invest in them for the last 3 years and see them grow to people like that.
My name is Sam Gray. I'm a junior at Auburn University and a mentor at Project Uplift. And my experience with Project Uplift has been incredible so far. It has by far been one of the most rewarding things I've gotten to do with my time here at school. Just getting to watch my kid develop and grow into a strong young man and just getting to be able to play a part in that process has been so cool. And we just really enjoyed getting to do all sorts of fun, crazy stuff with him. And it's given me the younger brother that I've always wanted to have. And I know me and my partner have grown closer because of it too. So I just can't say enough good things about my experience being a mentor. Project Uplift has definitely given me an opportunity that I would not have gotten to do anywhere else. And I'm so grateful for the experience. And I look forward to just all the good times and good memories that Project Uplift is going to bring forth here in this next year and a half or so.
My name is Embria Bryan and my mentor's name is Abby Scott. They took me to parks, we go places, and we play soccer, and we went to the zoo.
My name is Traylon, and then my mentors are Carter and Kai, and then they took us to the game to play games, and then we saw them, and then we went to play football and Pokemon, and then a lot of games.
Hey, my name's Bailey, and I have been with Project Uplift for about 3 years now. I get to mentor 2 younger kids in the community named Caden and Carrington with one of my really good friends, Hannah. Going into Project Uplift, we weren't really exactly sure what to expect, but we just knew that it sounded like a lot of fun. And I can truly say now that it's one of the most rewarding things that I've done since I've been at Auburn. It's been really neat to get to watch Caden and Carrington grow sometimes we get trapped in. It's really easy to be on campus and be and have our college. There's a whole community around us. And it's just been really cool to get to put into the life to come to mean so much to me. Some things that we want are to the trampoline park. We love going to get ice cream. We had a little girls' day with Carrington not too long ago for Valentine's Day. We made brownies with her and had a little at-home spa day. Kaden loves playing football and getting to do stuff outside and going to parks or walking around downtown Auburn and going to Sanford. And so we have just loved getting to know them and spend time with them. And we are so thankful for Project Uplift and the way that they care for the Auburn Athletic community. And I just know that my time at Auburn wouldn't have been the same without Project Uplift, and so I would just be better.
Hey, I'm Sydney Barkley, and I've been involved with Project Uplift for almost 3 years now. I mentor 2 sisters, Zakai and Amori, with my friend Lilla. With our girls, we love to go to the park, bake, and ride bikes, just to name a few things. One of our favorite things, though, has been going to Project Uplift parties for Christmas and Valentine's Day. It's so much fun for the girls to get to hang out with other kids, and we've actually been able to make connections with other mentors to play and get-togethers outside of these events. This has been such an awesome experience to get to watch the girls grow and honestly learn just as much from them as they learn from us.
My name is Kaya, and I love my big sisters, Sydney and Lilla. I'm always having fun when I'm with them. I love when they take me to the park, and I love when I go over their house to make cookies. My favorite part about going on my visit is spending time with them. It's so much fun and exciting. Every time I go to my it's so much fun. Hi, my name is Amore, and I love to go with my big sisters, Sydney and Lilla, because they are so supportive and they are super nice.
Were y'all able to see all of that? Okay. Okay, well, that is all I had.
Kelly, so is Project Uplift just for college age volunteers?
No, ma'am. So you do have to be 19 to volunteer, but anybody can volunteer as long as they're 19.
Okay, so like a 48-year-old woman
Yes.
can do
Yes.
this once
Yes.
she has her own children out of the home.
Yes, absolutely. We want more community involvement. Because like, as I mentioned, a lot of people just think it's for the students, and it's
Okay.
definitely not. Yeah.
And so you have 124 kids on the wait list?
154.
154.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So that means if you had 300 more people, essentially, everybody could get off the wait list.
Exactly. Well, keep in mind, yes, but we have an employee who serves as the family support manager. So
Mhm.
she is interviewing, we call it screenings, about 2 families a week. So every week, 2 more are getting added though to the wait list.
Okay.
So we have probably 45 families that are waiting to even start the interview process to be on the wait list.
So it looks like most of your volunteers are college students.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, they have a little bit more time than most people working full time.
Right.
How do you recruit people to be volunteers?
Well, on campus, we do a lot of flyer distribution. We hang up the flyers in the buildings, but now off campus, I've done a lot of taking a more simple flyer to all of the restaurants downtown and in Opelika, hanging up some of those flyers in those businesses. I share about it. I'm with the Auburn Chambers AYP, so it's the Auburn Young Professionals Group.
Yes.
So I share a lot about it at that. So as far as recruiting outside of campus, I'm always open to suggestions because like you said, it's a little harder to reach the community. But for on campus, it's just simply word of mouth and handing out flyers. I do try to get a lot of our mentors to speak at like their chapter visits and stuff and tell all the other girls in their sorority about the program, and same for the guys. If they can speak at like the fraternity meetings, that's the biggest way. But I would say the biggest way we get mentors is word of mouth from the other ones.
Okay. Well, I think you need to be a Tiger Giving Day program next year.
Okay.
and you know, maybe raise money to help you recruit more volunteers.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Volunteers, because I mean, 300 people in this community should be nothing. I mean, 300
Right.
people on this campus should be nothing.
Right. No, I agree completely. The one thing we run into is the program used to run on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 employees, and now there's 3 of us
Yeah.
running. I guess collectively we have over 300 involved if you add the families and all the mentors.
Sure.
So if we had more, you know, definitely more services, that would help. So there's not just me having to go out and do a little bit of everything. That would be awesome. If anybody else has any questions, I'd love to answer any of them.
I think you need to connect with Caroline Payne Purvis in HDFS. She's teaching one of our introductory classes, and she talks a lot about service. Those kids really seem to be involved. They have done a lot for feeding needy families in some of our area schools. And I think these are the kids who will volunteer to help you.
Okay, that's awesome. That is one thing I did want to say. Any HDFS classes, like I want to get in and like try to speak to them, because surprisingly, we don't have many HDFS volunteer mentors. So I want to get into those classes and share about the program. A lot still just don't know what it is, but you'd be surprised that the majority of our mentors are biomedical sciences. So I'm like, if they can do it on their school load, anybody can.
We also have our students intern with you for their internships.
Yes. Now we have had, I think three interns from HDFS, which is awesome. Yes. I'm always open to interns too, because they can help a lot with recruitment. I made a lot of them just go hand out the flyers if I was busy. So yeah, that's been very helpful.
Our philosophy and nonprofit students intern with you.
Have they?
Philanthropy and nonprofit, sorry, had a brain moment there.
Are you asking if they have before?
Or could they?
Oh yeah, I'm open to any interns. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, any could.
I think you need to have a competition among student organizations.
Now, that's a good idea, because one thing I've noticed, even the girls, they're competitive.
Yes. And so which student organization on campus can have the most number of volunteers certified or whatever, you know?
Yes. Competition. That's good. We did do one in the past, and I probably need to try to do it again. We did have a competition with the sororities to see who could get their sorority sisters involved, and we kind of, had like a race going. So that's a good idea, because I think it did. I mean, it helped a little bit, because I think we got like a plaque made, and they all want that recognition for sure.
Yeah, or if you had some extra money, like from a Tiger Giving Day project, you could. Sorry, that's on my mind because yesterday. Buy 100 t-shirts for whatever group, and then that way you do your logo on the back and say my group won this challenge, and so hopefully they'll be constant. It wouldn't be just a whatever month-long or semester-long competition, they
Yes.
would keep it going for a couple of years just by
Yeah.
advertising it.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome because for sure being a nonprofit, I mean, our funds are slim. I think I'm still giving out t-shirts. I know they've got to be like 15 years old. But it's like the last time we bought them, I'm like, these, like the white is turning dingy. And I'm like, nobody wants this t-shirt. So that would be a really good idea.
Hey, I just thought of something. You're in the College of Human Sciences. You are eligible to apply for a Women's Philanthropy Board grant, which is due tomorrow.
Gosh.
So maybe maybe Mary Elizabeth can get that link to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. It's nothing you can't do within this afternoon.
Timeline.
I promise. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good idea, Kim.
What about the honors college students? They all have to have a service, so many service hours, don't they? I mean, have you talked with them before?
College. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've talked to them specifically. I think the honors fraternity, like the little honors fraternity group, used to sponsor events for us in the spring. So I don't know if that counted as like maybe a project they had to do or something, but no, I have not reached out to them as a whole, that's a good idea.
I'm not sure who their director is right now, but I'm sure we could look it up, and that'd be a great service project.
Yes, definitely. That was so helpful.
It's turned into a great workshop.
Yeah, right. I'm glad I had some paper down here.
I'm just waiting to hear how many students or children that Kim is taking in.
I have 2 children right now who consume so much of my time. That's why I said a 48-year-old wants her children are out of
Right,
there.
yeah.
They do.
I did hear that, but I chose to ignore that.
That's funny.
Does anybody have anything else? Advice, questions?
Y'all think of something, feel free to email me.
Yes. All right. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for talking with us today. It's awesome. Project Uplift is such an inspiration. So we really appreciate all the work that you're doing. And thank you to everyone for joining us, and for Kelly and anybody else. If you want to share this program with friends, family, interested mentors, this will be posted. A recording of the session will be posted on the WPB YouTube channel, where you can also find videos of lots of other programs that we posted. So I appreciate all of y'all being here.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We hope to see you again soon.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
Bye.